today's topic. So this is a really interesting topic I really want to cover. So here we go.
So it's very unfortunate that I have to make this video, but this is where we are and this is what it's come to. If you guys are unaware, there was a black traveler who had his life taken away from him, murdered in Barranquilla, Colombia. And I want to talk about safety in this video, but safety specifically for men, because men and women, when they travel, they really have two different intentions, and that usually leads them to seek different things, right? And for guys who travel, you cannot let your guard down no matter where you go. And I have done that in the past, and I want to talk about two things you should look out for, because if you let your guard down, this can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. No one is immune. Doesn't matter how big and tough you are, doesn't matter who you know back home, doesn't matter who you know there. You always have to be responsible for your own safety.
This is why I tell y'all I travel a lot. I've been to so many countries all across the world. Been to places and I've had to book Airbnbs and hostels and spots that are not necessarily the best, and I've traveled a lot, even not knowing the language. And one thing you need to learn as a man is that it's very dangerous out there. And it varies on your complexion and what neighborhood. I would even argue that as white people, it's also very dangerous for you in certain areas. And as black folks, along racial lines, height, size, different things like that, the problems you will face will vary based off how you dress, how you act, where you choose to go. So there's so many variables that you have to take into consideration, and you have to apply them to yourself. If you're a big person and you go to nightclubs in foreign countries, sometimes people will try to pick a fight with you just because you're big.
Or do you think that you're a threat? Oh, he gonna come here and steal our woman. No, but that's what happened when I go down south, when I go in Latino countries or stuff like that. That's exactly what you're talking about right there. Yeah. It's exactly that. You know, you got the alcohol going and everything and stuff. I have to watch out. Because they're gonna think that they're gonna think I'm a threat. I'm gonna steal the woman. And then, yeah, the thing that you're saying about picking fights, you looked at my woman. It's like,
but they have this insecurity already set up from the jump. So everything you do just looks sus to them. So it's just being mindful of that, because that reality is real and it's everywhere. And for white folks, for example, you guys are often easy targets in certain third world countries because they already look at you and look at money. And white folks will come in and will admit this themselves. And so I'm not bringing up race for no reason. It matters where you go and what you look like.
Yeah.
You know, all these things matter. So I hope you guys pay attention, because somebody lost their life because they probably couldn't read a bunch of signs. Maybe they could. I'm not going to say for certain, but we'll watch the video and see what we can.
Traveling abroad. And it's crazy because it's like you go to travel, you go to leave the matrix to go somewhere else to experience something different, to experience something new, something better than what you were accustomed to back home. A new experience, new opportunity, new people, right? A whole new culture. You don't go and travel to die. But unfortunately, that's what happened to this man. Now, if you read some of the reports that came out, a report I read specifically said that he had purchased a property in Barranquilla for about close to 700 million pesos. If you do the conversion on that, that's close to 200,000 US dollars. So obviously that this is a brother who worked hard, sacrificed, did what he had to do. I believe the report says he's 54 years old. I'll put all that information on the screen. Again, this is no disrespect to him or his family. This is just information. And it's just like, it burns me up that a black man can work so hard and have to end up like this. And it's completely avoidable, guys. The thing is, if you watch my video that I did a couple videos back, and I was talking about being alone and traveling, you know, that is one of the things that I say will be the downfall for a lot of men. And that is needing companionship, needing to be around someone. Now, I'm not associating this with him, but a lot of guys who I know who travel, they are like this.
There's a lot of women in foreign countries who will bait you to locations and to places so other niggas can rob you. Whether it's online dating, whether it's at a club, if she approaches you and she's too forward, be super suspicious. Super. Especially if you look and sound like a gringo or whatever word they got for foreigners or tourists, be very careful. Very careful. Because that's how dudes disappear, get robbed. And if the robbery goes wrong, they die. The women are oftentimes how they segue you out. Because you're in a foreign country, you want to have a good time. What better way to have a good time than have some local poom poom?
You go to a culture with better food. You go to a culture with a better environment that's cheaper. But you got to be on the lookout now. Because you just By changing your zip code, by changing your country, you just elevated your income. You may have elevated your income to an upper income person. So now you can't move the same. Upper income people in the States and lower income people in the States do not move the same. So let me talk about the two things that I think can help a lot of men out who are going to be traveling no matter where you go. Number one, environment, guys. When you're going to a new country, to a new city, look around. When you get off the plane, right? You normally get off the plane and then you go and catch a taxi to where you're going, to your Airbnb. Look around. This is why I don't book places for months in advance unless I've stayed there for a few weeks. Because if you book places for months in advance, you get there and it's uneasy, now you're stuck, or you just lost a couple $100 or however much money you paid. Look around, look at the people. Are the people going about their day? Are they just, going from one place to the next place? They getting in and out? Or are they staring? Are they watching? Are they watching you as soon as you turn around and happen to look at them? Are they staring at you? One of the things that I noticed, especially in Medellin, when I went to Medellin, was that it seemed to me that a lot of the people there were looking at tourists or gringos, whatever you want to call it, especially if you got a camera in your hand. Now, this also happens. A lot of brothers do this to themselves. You come down there, your income's elevated a bit because your currency is however much more powerful than the currency in other places. It doesn't have to be in Colombia, but in any kind of country where the US currency is way higher than the currency that's there. And so now you want to flex. You want to brag because you feel like, oh, I'm about to make it rain. There was a video where guys were on Snapchat flexing, I don't know how much money, I think like $600-700 Colombian pesos.
Talk to me. Some of this. Talk to me. Some of this. Talk to me. Huh? Talk to me. Huh? Talk to me. Huh? Demon. Huh? Demon. Demon.
And in the next video, they had the police in there because they had been robbed. You can get killed for very little monetary amounts. It doesn't take a lot. If people see you flashing money, if people think that you look wealthy, or they think that you have a lot of money, they're going to target you. It won't be now, but people watch your patterns.
Yeah, you have to be aware of what you look like to other cultures. This is a good thing to travel to other country, right? But you have to understand what certain things about you represents in other countries. I want to go to Haiti. I have to know what tattoos represents in Haiti. I want to go to Colombia, in Barranquilla. En Barranquilla me cuedo. But you're not cuedo from en Barranquilla, if you know what I mean. Ya tú sabes, papá. So you have to know what the dreads look and what they mean to the people out there. It's good to inform yourself about the cultures, about different things about that you have. I got tattoos. I'm a black man. I have dreads. I have a certain size. I have to know what these things are perceived in the country that I'm going to. It's really much more than just booking a ticket. Listen, I was very nervous for the first time of my life. Extremely nervous when I went to Russia. Knowing that I'm a bigger dude, knowing that I'm black, knowing that I got dreads. I was extremely anxious to get there because I was supposed to get off the plane and someone was supposed to wait for me with a sign and I was supposed to go to the hotel and then the person was meeting me at the hotel. I was super anxious. Don't know what could have happened there. You have to be aware of these things. Now, I know people are going to be like, that's victim blaming. I think it's being aware of what's going on around you and not living in a utopia, not living in a dream world. These are facts. If you want to go back home, this is not a disclaimer. If you want to go back home, you have to take care of those things. You have to watch out for that. That's just being smart.
Okay. I'm going to say this very clearly. If anybody comes to this video and starts talking to me about victim blaming, you can see yourself at the door. That is a term used by privileged people. That is a Western term used by people who don't face danger on a regular basis. That's what that is. Because if you understand how the world works, you understand that danger exists. And danger doesn't care about your political science major. Danger doesn't care about how you lean politically. Danger doesn't care how many social justice warrior brownie points you have. If you do not take the precautions you need to survive, you will likely die. So I don't have the time to coddle you, to explain to you why you're so fragile. I'm going to tell these young men what they need to hear because what I prefer is that they get to live a longer life and meet their potential. Okay? So I don't care. If you want to call me, go make your articles, make your blog posts. I don't
do your thing.
I care about making sure that these guys and these young women who also watch make the smart decision when they travel. Because women also have some very real issues that they got to deal with. Go tell a woman who doesn't want to travel by herself because she's afraid that if something does happen to her, it's not her fault. And if anyone says that, it's victim blaming. Let me tell you, women understand that there's real dangers for them when they travel. They don't act like idiots, generally speaking. It's why they prefer to travel in groups, because they understand that the world is not a safe place. Them being told to take those precautions is not victim blaming. It's basic self-defense. It's self-preservation. So you guys think what you want to think. That's one. Two, I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression. I'm not saying that if you travel the world, you're inherently going to get robbed, that it's always going to be dangerous in these countries and you're always going to have an issue. What I am saying is it just takes one instance. And if you want to insulate yourself from that potential danger, there's a couple of small things you can do that are not that difficult that will raise the likelihood of you being safe when you're traveling. I've been to very dangerous countries, but if you understand where you are going, how to move, you can feel very safe while you're there for the most part. But there are basic mistakes that a lot of people make that heighten the risks immediately, exponentially, you know? And I just want you guys to know what those things are so that you guys can enjoy your trip and then relax.
If you keep seeing the same person at a particular place when you go there, it's a good chance that they're just there watching people. A lot of these people, I have no clue what they do, but I know they got a lot of time on their hands. And they got a lot of time to watch you, Mr. Gringo, walking out with your bags, walking out looking fresh. And you think, oh, I'm so big and so tough, I can't get touched. Yeah, maybe in a fist fight, you're good to go. But what about when he pulls out a gun and puts it in your face? Then how you gonna act? You still wanna be Mr. Big Bad Bruce Lee? No.
And this is not even just for gringos.
This is not a joke. I got shot, and this is what I learned. It's been 1 week since a bullet was lodged into my back. Damon and I decided to go to Carnival in Brazil, so we took a 20-day trip to Sao Paulo first, and then we went to Rio, my birth city. Of course, I was born there, almost died there, but I didn't, and I am here to tell the tale of the time I got shot in Brazil.
So she has a full video talk about how she went back home, was spending it partying with her family for then they were just driving home to their crib like they normally do, and some just dudes pulled up and then tried to steal the car, and then they shot at them, and she got hit in the back a couple times and ended up in the hospital. And it's one of the most scarring experiences that she's ever had. And so that's for a local who understands this. So you have to understand certain environments very difficult to navigate. So just keep that in mind. And that's a struggle even for a woman.
And all this stuff can be avoided. So your environment is big. I don't stay in a place with a bad environment. And especially after living in Merida, Mexico, how safe that place was, I judge every place I go based on there. That's why when I got to Medellin, I was like, whoa, this is completely different. This is a 180. I felt none of the luxury and safety that I had in Merida that I feel in Medellin. And I started to notice so much more different security issues that happen. So much more different instances of me having to be extremely cautious for the simplest things. So your environment, guys, you have a target on your back as a gringo. You have a target on your back. People are plotting. They are very hungry. The next thing, the most important thing, normally the death of most people is another person. This is why you have murder and crime dramas and murder mysteries and all this stuff, right? We know what's going on now with everything that happened, but that's a one-off. If you look at a lot of the reasons for death just in history, in the totality, in the annals of the world's history, the reason for death for most people is other people, jealousy, envy, rage, hate, all of these, the 7 deadly sins, all of these things are responsible for people killing other people. So when you go to these new countries, don't be so trustworthy. Now, from what I read, this gentleman met a woman on the app. Now, it didn't say in the article that the woman set him up. It didn't say that, right? But it said that they met on an app. Guys, I know it's 2021. I really hate to break this to you, but she does not care about you. She doesn't. She does not care about you. She doesn't know you. Just make it make sense. How can a person care about you if they don't even know you? They don't care about you. They're going to tell you what you want to hear until they can extract whatever they want to extract from you, and then they'll be gone. Happens on YouTube all the time. Look at YouTube couples. They get what they want from each other, then they're gone. Oh, you don't think that happens in real life? What can I get from this man? Oh, you live in the States? Money signs. The whole time you ain't live in the hood. She don't know that, but she just thinks States. Oh, money sign. She see your Instagram. Oh, he flexing. Oh, big bands. Okay, I'm about to get everything from him. Right? And now look, she's targeting you. You have a target on your back. Oh, when you get here, oh, don't worry, Poppy, I'm gonna take care of you. All that, as soon as I start hearing Poppy, I tune out. I tune out, I'm not your father. I tune out. I know the games you're playing. It's so obvious. But unfortunately, a lot of guys fall susceptible every day. So you cannot trust these people from apps, even if you meet them, right? You might think, oh, I'm real good on vibes. I'm real good on picking up vibes. You might be good on picking up vibes, but how about in a different culture? How about in a culture where the women are actually a little more feminine? You still good on picking up vibes? Do you really think a woman who in the States wouldn't give you the time of day, but you change zip codes and now she's all in love with you? Does that really seem genuine?
Can I just appreciate that he's using the track Picture Me Rolling, the instrumental? Picture me rolling my 500 Benz. I got no love for these niggas that don't need to be friends.
I know you want somebody, but does that really seem genuine? It's not. It's just not, guys. So unfortunately, this black man is no longer here, and it's just what it is. But I hope other brothers who are traveling, other men who are traveling, can take notes. Don't be so trusting of people, men and women, but especially women, online, overseas, because they are looking at you as the way to feed their family.
And unfortunately, they happen to sometimes be a little bit more desperate and from areas where chaos and crime is prevalent. And so the lengths that they're going to go to try to scam you and play you are far higher. So it's just a matter of understanding these things, guys. Research, Google, look into it. What is the crime levels? What are they like? You know, talk to, if you happen to have a local connect, ask them a lot of questions, especially if you don't speak the language. That is going to be your biggest barrier between you and people over there. Trust me. I've had conversations with people that look me some type of way, try to play me. Then I spoke to them in the language and it was like, oh shit, am I fucking with somebody who knows they shit? And the prices change so fast. But that's just from understanding cultural layers to these places.
Just
nigga try to scam me the moment I left the airport. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It starts right away.
Right away.
They'll try to take your bag. Let me take it, and then they just leave with your bag and your luggage.
Yeah.
So be mindful that they're bold. They don't care. But if you do a couple of tiny things to insulate and protect yourself, I promise you're going to have no issues.
I always, whenever I go to a country, I try to emulate the accent, but I also learn not to say hi. I ask, how do you say what's up in your country? Oh, I go to Cuba. I went to Cuba when we were able to travel. Back then, I go to Cuba and I tell, how do you say what's up? Oh, hola. No, that's not what I ask you, bruv. I asked you how you say what's up.
Yeah.
Not hi.
Yeah.
What's up? You know what I mean? You know what I mean by what's up? Oh, okay. Que hueta. Que hola. And that's only Cuban. So when people would approach me, hey, hola, trying to say, I'd be like, que hueta. And they would, oh, okay. And they leave me alone. Hey, que hueta. And they would leave me alone. Que hola. They would leave me alone just because I had that little edge. Other people that were saying hola, that's gringo talk.
Yeah.
That's tourist talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a little thing.
No.
That's a little thing, but it goes a long way.
It just goes to what you were saying when you were talk the language, you talk the language with them people and they're like, oh shit, no, yeah. Not because, oh, I can't. He might know more than I think he knows.
Yep. You know, couple basic tips. Jewelry, hidden. Hide all your jewelry. Phones. Be very careful with your phone. If you don't need to have it, get yourself a burner or a dummy phone that you can use while you travel.
A cheap phone that you're like, I got an iPhone 5 that I travel with.
Exactly. I got multiple phones and there's a good reason for that. Another thing to consider, it's just like any signs of opulence, start to reduce it. I know some of y'all want to take all the money you made and start go balling in areas. It's not worth it. But I think the biggest thing is do your research. Get some resources before you go there. You know, when I went to Brazil, I had somebody in Brazil that I could speak to ask them a bunch of questions. And then we came to a consensus together as to what we're going to do while we're down there, where we're going to go, and it helped out a lot. If you guys don't do that, you are doing yourselves a big disservice. So do your research. If you can't do it through somebody, do Google. Ask somebody who has traveled there. You can find a lot of research. Reddit has got posts and posts. There are blogs and YouTubers who will give you all this information. Give you everything you need so that when you go down there, you can feel safe. So do that. When I see people who are about to get played, bro, I can tell they're full of ignorance and they did not do any of their due diligence.
I'm just going to backpack, dude. You know, I'm going to go check a couple of favelas, you know.
And you know what? People do that. And you know what? They end up in videos for beheadings. They end up, you know, on videos being taken. There's videos online of travelers who just, I want to go have fun. And they never go back home.
Yeah.
You know, and part of you wants to feel bad. Another part's already like, what were you doing in rural Mexico at this hostel?
Who sent you?
And you decided to go camping outside. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just thoughts that I have like that in my head. And I don't say this to mock the person, but at the same time, I was like, God damn.
It's hard to feel bad.
You know, that's it, right? So, you know, if you jump into a swamp and get eaten by alligators, is it tragic? Sure. Am I surprised? No. You know, you win your Darwin Award. So, guys, don't win it. Be smart about these things and travel the world. Go enjoy it. There's so much to learn, so much richness to consume. But if you want to be able to consume it, right, to marinate on it, you also have to protect yourself, right?
Be smart.
That's it. So that's all I wanted to say about this topic. Appreciate anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, listen, shout out to this YouTuber. He's trying to do a really good thing. His name is SPK Lifestyle. He does a lot of traveling, especially in Latin American countries. He talks about what it's like. So if you guys want to learn more, you guys can go check that out there. And the other one I was talking about was Damon and Jojo. I actually really liked these when I was learning Portuguese, porque eu quero falar português.
Você fala português?
Não posso, mas eu faço muito esforço para melhorando meu português. All right? So, I'm still practicing here and there, just not as much.
Yeah, same.
You know,
I got new neighbors. They're Brazilians.
are they?
Actually, yeah. Well, they're from the same. They're from the same place that my master from my capoeira master is from.
Okay, that's dope.
So when Bahia.
So when you introduce yourself, were you like, meu nome é Nego Fujão?
Nego Fujão. No, I heard her speak Portuguese, and I just. Você fala português? Oh, sim, fala português. Você é brasileira? Sim, brasileira. Que cidade você? Oh, da que cidade? Oh, she's telling me from where? Bahia. Oh, Bahia.
Brazilians love it when we speak even a bit of Portuguese.
Yeah, the bit of everybody loves when you speak their languages. It's like when I go to the Greasers, La Belle Province, and I speak Greek with the people, like if I risto para poli and they lose, they're like, oh shit, more fries for you. You know what I mean? When I go that people, but they really love it, especially here.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem to be that many. It's not like the Haitian community or the Greek community or the Italian community, right? So when you start speaking with them, yeah. I don't say, meu nome é Nego Fujão.
Tell him. Mas se você não sabe, eu gosto da sua cultura.
Valeu!
Is my accent getting a little bit better?
It's getting really bad. It's good. Yeah. It's not as good as your English speaking Portuguese.
No.
But yeah, it's getting very bad. But yeah, it's getting
I'm learning like how to flow the words in together. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Isadora. Okay, Miss Lucille. Okay, shout out to her.
It's a song.
Yes, it's a very singy song. You have to go up and down.
Exactly, the laptop. It's like you have to learn those. You have to learn those things, and I'm just trying to emulate people like my mestre when I'm talking, or the guy that was the formado. Now he's not formado anymore, but anyways, the way they speak the song, try to get it. It's like when you speak to a Bayesian, you know what I mean? Yeah. They sing too. People from Barbados and stuff.
Gotta show them some love. Yeah, exactly. Well, listen. So we could go in and talk about Portuguese forever, yo. But big fans. So we're gonna leave it at that. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah, that's about it.
En Barranquilla me quedo. Super saucy song, by the way. En Barranquilla me quedo. It's crazy because when he was talking about the guy dying in Barranquilla, the song popped in my head.